Hello, my lesson plan will be on LGBTQ and homophobia, and my name is Gabriela Feliciano. So, the issue behind LGBTQ and harassment. So, LGBTQ plus goes through a lot during school settings. They are bullied by so many students around them, and even the teachers sometimes. Bullying causes students to have self-esteem issues. Students even go through therapy for feeling like they're less than, or they don't fit in as much as normal kids do, because of the bullying, essentially. So it is up for us to stop the cycle and show that they can be human too and not be a target for abuse. And that is up to us as teachers to stop that cycle from happening. So the main concepts are for first grade, that's the grade level I'm going for, and the subject area I'm going for is social studies. And the duration, I said about 45 to 50 minutes for this lesson plan. And the mandate that it sets off is anti-bullying state mandate of 2013, and it is bullying and harassment prohibited. So my objectives are: students will identify characteristics of appropriate citizenship skills toward people of the LGBTQ plus group. And then the second one is students will identify characteristics of inappropriate citizenship skills towards people that are LGBTQ plus. So I have a few critical questions. They are, number one, are your actions appropriate towards the situation at hand? Are your fellow classmates feeling appreciated, or are they feeling insecure because of your actions? And the third one is, if you were put into the situation, how would you feel about it? Was it a good or bad decision to do the said action? So my lesson starter. I would ask them to take a sheet of paper. I'm actually getting this. So I would ask them to take a sheet of paper. I would crumble it up, tell them crumbling it up, stomp on it, tear it up, doesn't matter. And then I would tell them, try putting it back together like how we normally had it. Pull it all apart and try to fit it together. Once they realize that they can't put it back together, then I will link it back to bullying. And I will say, what you first did to the paper was bullying. Bullying is when someone makes someone else feel like they are less than the other person. What we did to the paper can never be fixed or reversed. And it is the same we do to a person. People that are part of the LGBTQ plus group get bullied on the daily, and we as a class can prevent it from happening. So, for my content, I will be producing a PowerPoint just like you see here with all the information. The information that will be showcased is what is citizenship, what is LGBTQ plus, like what does it mean, lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual, queer, and then the different of the plus, and how can we show citizenship towards LGBTQ plus. Two major subjects as well that will be highlighted are what are good ways to show citizenship and what are bad ways to show citizenship. So my activity after the content section will be a questionnaire for students to fill out. Basically what I want them to see is whether the questionnaire is like, if you've gotten bullied, if you bullied someone, and what have you seen that are considered bullying, like the actions that they've seen. It will showcase if the students have taken what it is to bully and feel bullied, so they won't bully anyone that is part of LGBTQ or otherwise. So that way I can see as a teacher to know if they are bullied, how can I help that student, or if they don't understand my lesson, how can I further help them aid to see how it is from this questionnaire itself. So my assessment would be on one piece of paper. The students will be answering the following questions. How are we going to prevent bullying towards LGBTQ? How are ways the whole school could prevent bullying? Like, can we form groups? Can we put in school rules that are, if we see something, say it, even though we already do have some of that in most schools, some schools are still lacking some things that we could prevent bullying from happening in our schools. If we see them being bullied, what should we do as students? What are some steps to make sure what we say or do is appropriate and are great acts of citizenship? It will be measured by using a rubric that has an examples of things that we've learned from the lesson plan. It would also mostly be in an opinion-based assignment that is just being tested on moral citizenship. It will be testing that they understand the word citizenship and how to avoid bullying at all costs. So my next steps, the students will then perform 2 plays as a group. One play will show good acts of citizenship. There'll be like a situation of, say one of the students is being bullied by another person and that another student comes up and defends them. Well, that is a good way of showing citizenship. And then the second group of students will be showing negative effects of citizenship. The bullying itself happening to that said student and someone else joining in on it and not helping that student out with how they feel and what's going on with the situation. Then the students will discuss which ones were they watching. Were they watching the good or were they watching the bad? And what they took from the plays themselves. And then thank you so much.